What's up? It's a BK. Um, GameCube versus the Nintendo Switch. Um, that's kind of like a random context. However, I want to use an example of why I put that context there with the re-release of old GameCube games coming out for the Nintendo Switch. And how people have speculations that that will hurt um, the value of GameCube games. And this is entirely opinion based video. Um, to me, I would say that I'm still not gonna sell my GameCube games. That what is it? Whatever that RPG game is for the Mario RPG game for the GameCube. I'm not selling mine. I'm happy to have one in possession, and the only way you would even get a thinking of me of selling the certain GameCube games that I have in my possession, the only way you would even get a thought of it is that I have more than one copy, or if it is worth my time. Aside from that, I don't care that if they go down in value because they're coming out for the Nintendo Switch. That one. What I've seen come into fruition for the era of Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Color, GBA, N64 is going to eventually follow suit for the GameCube. It's going to eventually follow suit for the Wii. It's going to eventually follow suit for the Wii U. It's going to eventually follow suit for the Nintendo Switch. Yeah. So they could do all the HD 4K remakes of any video game or totally remake it all you want. I will gladly still hold on to my original copies. Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, I'm not getting rid of that. That's permanent. That's permanently locked in my crib. Or in my possession. I'm never selling that. Oh, because they finally cost $1,000 a piece. I'm not selling it. Because I draw back to those eras. That's my time, let's say. Um if those speculations come out to be true for a remake to Max Payne Part 1 and 2, oh my gosh. If that happens, I will be so happy again with a video game for once in my life. Like, I will be forced to have to buy a modern gen console. Because most likely, yo, bro, if Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes come out, and I could only play them digital, they got me. Well, no. If it comes out on Steam, I'm going to Steam. But like, if it had to be like a PlayStation, whatever it was, you got me. Cause I could only imagine the remake to Max Payne 1 and 2 is gonna be like Part 3. Oh my gosh, back in New York. Oh, New Jersey. Oh. I've been waiting for that for so many years now. I've been waiting for Max Payne to come back for so many years now, yo. We need Max Payne back. We need the Warriors remake, but we definitely need a Max Payne to come back to New York, New Jersey. Oh my gosh, that's the only game, man. And then also, please, for what they did with Part 3, add the online mode. Please, Rockstar, bring back Max Payne. Bring back Max Payne. Because like a lot of these games in modern day, I saw some little video. I think that's an old video talking about they're supposed to be making a remake for Max Payne. That's the most excited I've ever been for a video game in a decade. Aside from Bethesda games, no disrespect to Bethesda. No disrespect to Bethesda, and Natsumi, a lot of the OGs, but like, yeah, Max Payne. I'm very serious Max Payne head. Especially, I think Part 3 is just a masterpiece. Like, it's underrated. The multiplayer is like one of the best shooting multiplayer games you could ever play. Like, yo, hands down. Um, yeah, I would say that I noticed a lot of people who collect games when it came out. But I've noticed this through all the generations. Like, let's say when VHS first came out, oh, people were collecting that, and then when a Laserdisc came out, if you can afford it, people started collecting that and pushing the VHS to the side. DVDs, oh, let's just push these two other ones because DVDs is better. Oh, HD, let's put all three of those to the side. HD is here. Now 4K, oh, let's push all those to the side. 4K, then it's gonna be 8K. Oh, let's push 4K to the side. Like, it's like people who think like that, that's an endless hamster wheel. And you're actually you don't know, but you might be getting rid of exclusive data when you get rid of the older versions of printing of DVDs and games and whatnot. You're getting rid of old data as well. So for me, you know, for some weird reason, I don't fully click with the 4K, 8K era of graphics on TV and whatnot. I think, you know, the problem with 4K and 8K to say is okay, think of through every 5 or 10 years it become a different format of cameraing of shooting footage. And in that footage it's like that's what gives it its essence and whatnot. So let's say in modern day we're using 8K, but we're shooting something in the genre of the 70s or 18 or 1500s, and just something about it looking so perfect, it's just like unrealistic. Hence the beauty of using cameras from different eras. It's not a bad thing to still use into modern day. So I notice certain people, they get rid of their old copies because of a new copy come out, and I wouldn't do that. I would not, for me, I just wouldn't do it. I like having possession of the originals. And if it's worth getting the remakes, I guess maybe to say, yeah, I would consider it, maybe. Trials of Cold Steel Part 3 and Part 4 is coming in a compilation disc for the PS5. I would say that's worth it. It's a little pricey. I think it's like $70. But I would say to y'all, I consider it worth it. You're getting it in its highest definition, and the fourth disc is gonna be the most expensive one, and that's a compilation. It's gonna be a compilation. It's kind of funny who has the publishing rights to the Part 1 and Part 2 and what is going on with how they didn't do a whole trilogy of all four. They just kind of messed it up, and all they could come out with is a compilation of 3 and 4. But in Japan, they put out the 1 through 4 of it. It's kind of messed up. But that disc 4, it's not gonna be cheap later on. Oh, pause, bro. It's definitely game over. Hey, yo. Well, to your preference. But yo, yeah, those two discs coming out from NIS. Disc 4, Part 4 is going to be like the most priciest one, and I think that compilation is going to be even more pricier because of it being a compilation disc. Yeah, I would hold on to my old media. Personally, I collect old media more than collecting new media. Personally, I do not collect PS5. Oh, this new thing came out for PS5. Oh, gotta buy that. Nah, I don't do that. It gotta look like a banger for me to probably consider it, and also consider that we're still in the beginning of the PS5 era. Now on the other hand, the new Nintendo's coming out, the new Switches that's supposed to be coming out. Dang, bro, are you ODing in the messages, bro? Are y'all going crazy, spamming in the messages right now? It said hell for review. You must have said something absurd. I don't even have chat bots. But y'all already know it's Max Riz, man. Say no to drugs. Don't drink alcohol. Max Riz. Max Riz, yo. You already know. What level would y'all rate y'all Riz? It's Max Riz. That's a life. It's a science. It's life. Max Riz, y'all. That need to be the movie and the game come out. Max Riz the game, the movie. I just love anything like Max Payne, Max Riz. It just sounds beautiful. Pause, bro. Pause. I definitely don't believe that, bro. What you're saying on my chat. You whoever cat is, you must be just you're definitely a shit poster. But you're kind of boring at it. Give me something better than that, man. If you want to be a good shit poster, like I'm like 10 years, 15 years locked in shit posting. Like shit posting is life, tatted across my chest. You got to be better than that, man. Nah, I'm not bullying you. I'm giving you some Andrew Tate. You got to work out. I want better than that. If you're gonna shit post, that was dog shit. That was dog poop right there. I want better than that. I expect better from you. Yo. But yeah, I collect video games. I don't download digital. The first time you might ever hear me download digital is when that Max Payne remake come out. Say no to drugs. And salute to Hoboken, New Jersey police department. Salute to the police department of Hoboken, New Jersey. Bro, you got a shit post better than damn. You must be new to shit posting. You must be new to the shit posting world, bro. That's bad. That's bad, bro. That's bad. We don't know what name is gonna be yet. To keep it a buck. To keep it a buck with y'all, we don't know what name. Like Nintendo, they or like any game system, they when it comes to like the beginning of talking about it and promoting it, they come out with a first name, and then when it finally is out, that's when you know really what the name is. Like the N64 was called the Ultra 64 long before it was released. Drunk on Riz. It's Max Riz. Nah, I'm drunk on Riz. It's Max Riz. You already know. It was a problem once they let me out. You already know. Yeah, they're speculating between those two. That Ultimate or the Switch 2. They're speculating between that. But yo, if y'all anybody, you're in your young teens, 5 years old, I don't care what age it is, buy Nintendo Switch games. Buy Nintendo Switch games, put them away. There's a lot like they're gonna turn around to be in the hundreds to like 1,000 and better. Ask your mom. Y'all young for y'all young cats. Pocky Rocky Restaurant. Pocky Rocky Restaurant. It's under $20. Buy like 2 or 3 of them ups. If you cannot buy more, buy more. Buy Pocky Rocky Restaurant. To anybody who's a youngin', I'm telling y'all a gem game for the Nintendo Switch. It'll be an expensive game later down the line if you're in your tweens. Buy a sealed copy of buy a sealed copy of either compilation of the Pokemons that came out for the Nintendo Switch. If you're still in your teens, by the next decade, if not decade and a half, you will have probably a 15K or a better object. Yeah, the Pokemons for the GBA era is insane. The regular Pokemons and the ones from the GBA era is the prices is insane, and the next one that's gonna follow suit eventually. Oh, just buy that. Matter of fact, now, if you're still a young cat, buy the Pokemon sealed for the DS or the 3DS. That's the ones I should mention. Actually, consider to say. Don't forget the Nintendo Switch ones. I mean, you can buy those. Those are on sale as well, but the next ones that's gonna follow suit and going up in price is the DS and the 3DS. Buy sealed copies of those now, and just put those away. If you and your teens, it is a cheap investment. $40, $40 that could turn around to $5 to a rack, if not more. But I would suggest if you and your teens, hold it for 20 years or better, and you can have maybe a 30K or 50K video game in your hand. It's real. This is real what I'm talking about. Everything I'm talking about here is 1,000% real. There's an app called Heritage Auctions. You can look up and type in the search engine for sale history, Pokemon, and you're gonna see things in the double digit racks. And it blew my mind. Games that back basically when I was a kid was $30 or 50K to 100K. Straight up with the movies and the move to DVD and whatnot. It went from VHS basically to Laserdisc to DVDs to blah 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 blah. But yo, collect horror DVDs if you could get those for 50 cents or $1. Collect as many horror movie DVDs as you can. If that's a definite cheap investment that could be that $1 could turn into 20. Cause the next basically the next stage of after VHS is the DVDs. So if you could get DVDs for $1, 50 cents, whatever, and I'm telling you can stick with one category. Just get all the crazy horror movies you could get. The crazy whatever is different horror movies. Even if you get stacks and stacks of one of all Jasons, Friday the 13th or Halloween's, Pumpkinhead, whatever it is. Get your hands on try to get in the hundreds. That's how I move. I collect game. I got hundreds of games. Hundreds of games. I didn't. What was the point of having a collection worth $2,000 ain't shit. Oh, look, I got this little 2K. Look at my collection room. Psst. You better hit the stars if you can. If you really want to get bread in this world, find a pocket of something before it goes down in value that you can get it for cheap in value, and you better hit for the moon. Hit for the moon. That's my best advice to young people. Invest. Potato chips just went up like 75 cents to a whole $1 right now. I think that I was just telling my own parents they should have been invested into that. Potato chips was a nickel when they were little kids. Then in my era, a quarter. The 50 cents or $1 bag is $2.50 right now, y'all. It just happened overnight. That is a change influx in stocks if you would invest into that. Like, let's say 5 months ago or a year ago. Whatever you would have paid at that time, it just doubled basically. When that sticker hit that price I'm talking about, yo, bro, and it got me bugging too. That meant if you would have invested a year ago, let's just say, and from what I'm seeing, a bag of chips is $2.50 right now. Your investment would have doubled. I don't think that's gonna change. I think it's only going forward, y'all. I would hope, but I don't think chips is going back down from that $2.50 change. This might be the next decade or 20 years of the $2.50. So you gotta look at objects that's around you for your entire life like that and try to get in the mix of it. That's an extra $1 in your pocket because I'm looking at it as something I'm missing out on right now, but I still want to invest into because I guess society's gonna buy it. So I left. Talk. Forget video games. I'm talking about the bag of chips that everybody eat every other day. Every store has a whole good old shelf of. Just went up $1 or $1 and change. And that means other objects went up 50 cents or $1 or $1 and change. That meant, yo, I'm telling y'all stocks right now. That meant there was 10 companies to invest into right now before it doubled. And then when it doubled, you get your profits and you back out. How long is it going to stay double for? That's the question. Like, I don't know how to put it. Because, like how I said, I think, I don't know, it might be the next decade or 2 decades. But, like, did you vote for Democrat for us to have to pay an extra $1.25 for food now? How many of y'all houses voted Democrat for these past 4 years? And this is the rewards we're all getting. Bugging. You bugging right now. I'm in NY. I'm in NY. And I think that applies to other states, though, is what we're experiencing here. I don't think we're exclusive. I don't think we're excluded from that. So, I felt like things was better when we had Trump. Personally, I had more work. I was getting to the bag more. And COVID happened, and everything's a secret. Speakeasy bars. In the whole spots where people can be in secret of engagements. Like, it's all sorts of secret shit going on. That's how bad and tight people have been keeping their pockets and keeping opportunities with each other. Over these, especially 4 years, even more. Yo. You thought Kevin Samuels was one of the biggest keys? That was just a little piece of the iceberg. Yo. New York, you New York, I pray for you to do well. I don't care what state you in. Just be positive. Anybody be trying to hate on you, you got a supporter here that will gladly tell for any other haters. As long as you ain't a dickhead and negative, fuck you for you. Team positivity. And everything else, fuck out of here, yo. Straight up. Yeah, you got an anime name, so I'm gonna definitely say to you to give you a good tip, bro. This is one of the best decades to collect video games. Nintendo Switch and the PS4, bangers. I'm talking about serious. Like PS3 don't compare to it. PS2 is like a little bit to an extent, but really a predominant came out in Japan. It wasn't all the games that just came out in America. Like, this era we're in right now, you're getting games that's supposed to just be in Japan. Out here. Like, it's a lot of serious games. Wild Guns Reloaded. Live Alive. Pocky Rocky Reshrined. Ninja Saviors. Shadow of the Ninja gonna be coming out. The whole Cotton series just came out. Basically all the Cotton games got reprinted for 4K or whatever. All those is like $150, $200 and up games. And if you look up any kind of Cotton game, those, like, so I'm saying, that's the point of what I'm saying. Like, a lot of old school OG companies put out like expensive games recently. And they're not $60 games either. They're $36 games. $36, $30 games. There's a game called Demon Throttle. It's only $20. And it's not even on digital marketplace. It's a dope NES shmup for the Nintendo Switch. Physical copies on you could buy off of Amazon. It's already been moving digital, but right now, and if it could continue to go well, there'll be a couple exclusive companies that will continue on to release physical copies. However, you have like a limited amount of time towards purchasing that copy, and once that's gone, you're gonna have to buy it off of whoever is selling those copies after original pre-orders. We're coming in, we're already in it, and that's what it's gonna continue to be, y'all, is a pre-order era if you want like physical games. And when it comes to digital, like I just said a second ago, like the first game that's gonna make me get back to digital is if they make those Max Payne remakes. That'll probably be the next time you'll ever hear me come back to playing digital games. Cause I have a feeling by the time that will come out, that we're gonna be in the digital era. It ain't so. I would love to have physical copies. If it is to happen, I will buy them. But if not, you'll basically see me as live streams playing Max Payne. Definitely. No questions. No questions. No questions. Let Max Payne come out. No questions. No questions. No questions. The new GTA, I don't know. When that new GTA come out, I don't know. Can't promise that one. But Max Payne, 1,000% yes, I'll be there. Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to Hoboken Police, donuts, and doing what's righteous. Salute. Hoboken. Hoboken. That game, I love Max Payne. All three of them. Great games. Best games. A lot of people don't, I would say, they should have brought that game back out, Rockstar. The first Red Dead Revolver. That's based off of Gunsmoke. They still didn't even do that. So that game, to be honest, that's one game that stood locked on the PS2 since it ever came out. If to talk about game, but what the homie here saying. That's a good way to say it. What you're saying there. That's a good suggestion, because what's funny about what you're saying right now. Not to say funny, but like it's a good statement actually. What you're saying right now is it's locked in, similar to what Xbox and PlayStation did. And from certain other videos I was watching online for people who talk about the Nintendo and game systems, they didn't say it that way. No, they kind of did, but I like how you said it. Oh no. You said it in a good way just now. Because that's basically how the other two systems already did it. So they're gonna follow along with that and see who wants the digital, how many people are buying the physicals, and that's gonna weigh out their future of digital physical media. But I'm happy with the pocket I'm in, to be honest with y'all. Like I'm telling y'all right now, the past 2 years is a serious 2 years to collect video games. Like some really, really serious games came out that are worth its dollar. And I studied about this for years, basically. For these past couple years, these 3 years or whatever, altogether of collecting media, collecting games, whatever. What I'm going after, I didn't expect to ever come out. And you're coming out with a legitimate, a licensed, legitimate print of this? Yo, take my money. Take my money, bro. Take my money. Because they all have extended histories of just costing some good money. And this has been a part of one of my main investments, I guess I say. But once again, like The modern games I'm buying right now, you could turn that back around to like what I'm saying about with the GameCube games that I got in possession. Nah, I'm not selling those until they might go be like in that good worth value range. Otherwise, I got like a serious collection of GameCube games, and for like a great price. That I don't I don't even care if I didn't have no money in my pocket right now. Go get a job. Like everything I got that I've been collecting, I don't care if I don't even have a penny in my pocket right now. I'll go get a job. Simple as that. Like, there's certain things, yes, you can get rid of and get some money, but then there's certain things you're just running on a hamster wheel for the rest of your days if you keep doing stuff like that. Like, okay, in these 3 to 4 years now, I didn't get 2 times that amount of GameCube games yet. That's how I kept my mentality. If I don't got 2, they talk about that with money. If you're gonna buy a house, if you're gonna buy a car, if you're gonna buy any object, have 3 or 4 times the amount of money for it. And peace, sup, dude. Peace to you too. Have 3 to 4 times the amount for it. Then get rid of 1/4, 1/3. But to get rid of one and you ain't even gonna get that one back, that's not too smart. That is not too smart. So they want y'all to be renting physical media for the rest of your days. The 13-year-olds, 5-year-olds, whatever your age is, when y'all get older and older, aside from mommy paying your monthly or yearly subscription, and then when that ends, because you hit a certain age that it's time for you to pay your own subscription, they basically gonna have you renting for the rest of your days. Simple as that. And the closest to me being on that kind of a platform, I would say, is the Steam platform. Xbox should have been in that realm of Steam. And the fact that they still not, that's the only, out of all the game platforms, that's the only one I can see myself that I'm interested in playing with. Because when I mean all the games come out for Steam, almost every game a developer creates comes out on Steam. Steam is the only one so far. They like number one to me. And it's been on that path the whole time. Valve, if they are, why did they bought Activision? They bought Call of Duty. Xbox, Microsoft bought Call of Duty. You didn't buy Valve? Who's been in your corner this whole time? Yo, you know what's funny? That's who Sony need to buy. Sony, everybody's worried about Xbox bought Blizzard. They bought Activision. Buy Valve. Buy Steam. And see how people look at you then. Dude. That might be interesting, but I don't know. Nintendo is a funny company that it's kind of like a gift and a curse, and they don't properly, I feel, they don't properly document themselves. I feel like when the Game Boy Color came out, I didn't know that was the very best of Nintendo. I just thought it was Game Boy games in color. I didn't know that it was Nintendo games. But most people who played Nintendo in their life for these past 40 years didn't know that there was 3D games for Nintendo. For the NES, I'm talking about 8-bit. That was the Game Boy Color. So the Game Boy Color was the very best of Nintendo games, and I missed out on that whole era. I didn't know. The Game Boy Advance, I collect. I didn't collect in, but I had some games and I enjoyed that era a little bit. I didn't know, but that was the best of a Super Nintendo. I'll get into the DS and the 3DS 3DS right after what I'm saying. The Game Boy Advance, a couple of games for it. Yo, they got 3D games. Okay, they had a game called Star Fox and Stunt Racer FX. That was the only two 3D games for the SNES. You should, like, there are games for the GBA, which is, I'm telling you, the best of the Super Nintendo, that the 3D graphics is way better. It's like really amazing 3D graphics that they even did that on the game system. And for some reason back in the day, they didn't figure it out while that system was in regular rotation. So let's go rolling now to the DS and the 3DS. This is the thing about Nintendo. I'm explaining that how they don't properly document themselves. They're kind of like a back burner company where while other companies are putting out the more up-to-date machinery, they put out machinery that's like maybe a little bit behind the era, but they're like working the best of it, how others maybe didn't do it. That's how I'll kind of, as a compliment, would speak of Nintendo from how I look at the game, how I come to learn about the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance, and that's how I explain to you the DS and the 3DS was basically like, let's say when it comes to PlayStation 1, N64, Sega Saturn, the DS might be the best of that system, of all those systems. And then the 3DS is like a little bit more of a higher level. That's how I look at those consoles that are for the people who figured that out, you're smart. For the people who from when those systems existed already and they was buying it already at that time because they realizing what I'm speaking about to y'all, smart. They were smart. You were very smart for that. Because most of society doesn't understand that. So you're playing just like garbage. Maybe to say. So like the best of every console is at the end of its era. The best of any game console is at the end of its era. Because the Game Boy Color was out already when the Super Nintendo was out. And like, yo, it was they got a game or two that has CGI rendered graphics on an NES game. I've never seen that in my life until like the other day when I started really learning about the Game Boy Color. That shit blew my mind. And then even to think like the Game Boy Advance got a couple games that are PS1 games. No load up time. The Game Boy Advance got PS1 games, no load up time. A couple games are like Three Stooges for the PS1. The Game Boy Advance cartridge is the same entire game, no load up time. And then there's two other games that came out in PAL. That's like Shooter Metal Slug games, and they got a GBA cartridge, same graphics. So yeah, if you could collect DS and 3DS, if you could get good games for $1, $2, buy as many as possible. Buy if you could get 1,000 pieces, thank me later. Especially if you got them for $1, $2. Thank me later because $15, $20 a piece, multiply 20 times 1,000. And if you only pay $2, you paid $1 for 1,000 pieces. That's $1,000. Pay $2, it's only $2,000. Then a lot of those things be like $20 and better. Multiply that by 1,000. That ain't no little bit of money. Amazing. It's amazing, bro. Yo, I'm about to skid-diddle-daddles. Get out of here for the night. Call it a wrap. And I wish y'all all else a good night. And I hope y'all all had a good day. And I hope y'all have a good day again tomorrow as well. Peace out, everybody.